All right. No fancy t-shirts, graphic tees with Gengars and Pokemon on it today. We're all business. You see this stuff back here? All this Pokemon plushies? Business. Those are investments. I'm a businessman. I don't even know what a Dragonite even is. We're all business here. My Slowking Southern Islands Reverse Hollow from Japan is not up anything at all yet. But with Logan Paul's card and the market going crazy, this should be like $2,000 in the next like 100 years. And it won't sell again in my lifetime. Because I like Slowking. Alright, let's cut the crap. This video is an unedited, unscripted sort of spill on how I'm running my business in February, late February, almost March of 2026. If you're new to the channel, my name is Matthew. I am running Shiny Mana Collectibles. It is my very, very small collectibles business. I have like 25 subscribers on YouTube right now. It's very, very early on. I've been selling on eBay for about a year and a half now, and I'm just starting to really flourish my Mega Dragonite wings on my head. And yeah, I'm looking to get out into the tall grass, so to speak. So, my name is Matthew. If you want to stick around and watch me build this business up into something significant, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be around for a while. I love this stuff. I am actually literally obsessed with cardboard and the trading card markets. And not just cardboard, but a lot of collectibles. You know, I do a lot of plushies and toys and video game memorabilia and all that good stuff. Just the kind of stuff I'm into. But cards is like the focus, especially from a business perspective. I do love the economy of trading cards. I find it extremely fascinating. But yeah, so let's get into it. So like I said, I've been selling on eBay for about a year and a half now, and I am pretty much moving away from eBay. At least like 80% away from eBay. I have, let me back up a little bit. I sold a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the past year and a half, mostly on eBay. And I have built it up into a relatively significant inventory as far as Yu-Gi-Oh! Is concerned. I started with $0. I sold an old iPhone for like maybe 120 bucks. And I used that to kind of buy a new printer, or not even a new printer, buy some labels, some envelopes. And then I started selling my Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection that was worth like a grand total of maybe 150 bucks. And I have since snowballed that into where I'm at today, which is not all that much, but it's a few $1,000s worth of inventory. And the business pretty much pays for itself. I don't have to pull anything out of my full-time job to pay for anything in this business or my personal collection of Pokemon cards. It's pretty much all paid for with this income from the business. So I'm pretty proud of that. I built it up to that far, and I'm really, really happy with that. As far as Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes, I'm pretty much getting out of it completely. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm kind of moving on from Yu-Gi-Oh! I have a few cards left in my inventory, and by a few, I mean like probably like 50 cards or less in the inventory total. Some high end, high end for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to me, anything worth over like 20, 30 bucks. I know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has high end cards like Blue Eyes White Dragon from like Dark Duel Stories and stuff like that. I don't have anything like that, but I got a couple of like, $100 cards and so forth, but I'm really trying to get those moved and reinvest that money into more Pokemon. It's just where my heart's at. It's been that way for my whole life. Pokemon is like my thing. It has been for a long time, and I just so happen to like the market that is Pokemon cards, especially at the moment. It's booming. It's really exciting to be a part of it, and it's really exciting to be a positive change on the hobby. And I get to make some money along the way and build my PC. Still love Yu-Gi-Oh! As a franchise, but I'm pretty much getting out of the cards. With that being said, I am also moving away from eBay, like I mentioned before. eBay, no, it's no surprise to anybody at all. eBay fees are pretty high. TCG Player has similar fees, but they differ just a little bit in how they take those fees. And the benefits of selling on one marketplace versus another is kind of something you want to definitely investigate if you're looking to sell online with trading cards. eBay, they just started this whole promoted listings thing where they're going to guaranteed take anything you promote. If you promote your listing at 3%, you can go ahead and guarantee they're going to take that extra 3% from you. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, there's plenty of videos on it, but look up eBay promoted listings rule change as of like this month. They're really scamming their sellers, in my opinion. I don't like doing business with people like that, with a company that does that to their customers. I know they own TCG Player, but for now, TCG Player, in my opinion, is the better platform to sell on. But I'm really not trying to sell much on either platform. TCG Player is a little better, and I'll give you my reasons why. You can mass market, mass price, update your listings like almost instantly. You can set it to do rules automatically. You can have it go all the way to the market price plus whatever percent you want to be over the market price, a floor price, so you don't go below that. So in case somebody's racing to the bottom, you don't have to participate in that race. TCG Player has a lot of quality of life stuff that eBay doesn't have. Another one is you don't have to put pictures on TCG Player. As long as you're good at conditioning your cards and you do it honestly and correctly, you're probably not going to have that many problems because people order on TCG Player expecting some subjectivity in condition. You don't have to take pictures of the stuff like you do on eBay. It's a lot faster to list, a lot faster to ship, in my opinion, because you can just stuff it in an envelope and get it on the way. You don't have to print a label out with a standard envelope and tape it on there or stick it on there with a label. You don't have to do none of that. And I built eBay up. I have like 2,500 items sold on my eBay store. It's a little hard to walk away from it, but it's just not in my best interest to sell there anymore. Unless I have something incredibly niche that needs to go there, then I'll utilize eBay. But my main focus at this point is two places. One, the Vendors Mall right here in town. For those of you that don't know, I do run a local Vendors Mall booth at the Vendors Mall right down the street from my house. It's about, 10-15 minutes away from the house. So, nothing too crazy, not a horrible drive. I go out there once or twice a week. I restock it. I clean it up. They pay me once a month. I haven't lost any money yet. I'm not making an absolute killing. I'm not making a living out of doing it, but I do make money doing it, and it's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. Stocking the booth, rotating the stock, seeing what sells locally versus online is quite an interesting thing to do if you're a business owner. Just kind of seeing the differences in the marketplaces, because people who buy at a Vendors Mall in person, they're not the same people that are shopping on eBay and TCG Player for cards. Not even the same customers at all. So you can definitely experiment and see what sells, where it sells, how much it sells for, and all that good stuff. So the Vendors Mall, I am focusing heavily on that and optimizing it every single month to make it a little bit better and a little bit easier to run. But my other avenue I'm really focusing on at this point is card shows. It's no secret to anybody that trading card markets are absolutely on fire right now, in a good way. And there's, for me at least, I'm sorry if it's not the case for you, but for me, there's a lot of local shows. Even though I live in a really small town, I am between two major areas, Atlanta, Georgia, and Birmingham, Alabama. I have Huntsville, Alabama right above me, probably about a couple hours away. Even Tennessee isn't that far away, like Chattanooga and Nashville and all that stuff. Not too terribly far away. There is tons of card shows that I can get to within 2 to 2.5 hours. So I am booked for one card show per month for the next 4 months, probably 5. I'll definitely be applying for more, but one card show per month. I'm keeping all my good inventory for the card show. I'm looking to cash flow this thing into more in-person sales, build the YouTube up, maybe do some Instagram selling, maybe even get into live streaming one day down the road. But I am largely moving away from eBay and TCG Player. You know, if I need to liquidate some cards to get some cash for something else, you know, they're always there for me if the card show is too far away or something like that. The eBay stuff is always there, and the TCG Player is always there. But for me, it's less of a focus at this point, and it's going to be more of a diversification tool. Whereas, you know, for my entire business career, trying to do something, I have focused on eBay specifically. But I'm taking that leap. I'm being brave. I'm going to get away from eBay and do card shows and the Vendors Mall booth, and selling pretty much only Pokemon. I'm not getting into One Piece. I'm not getting into Dragon Ball just because they're hot. I don't know anything about them. I don't care to know anything about them. I'd rather just stick with what I truly, truly love to collect, and that is Pokemon cards, specifically vintage WotC stuff. But I will gladly buy and sell all of the anything above that, whether it be super modern stuff, you know, Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, X and Y, Black and White, all the way back to the Delta Species era, e-reader stuff, and all that good stuff. You know, I collect the WotC vintage stuff, like, you know, base set through like Neo Destiny. I collect that stuff specifically. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, guys. This is just, like I said, this is just an unscripted, unedited video. If you're interested in watching me build this business up into something that is a full-time gig, can support both my, right now, my fiance, soon to be wife at the, later on in the year, we're going to having our wedding. But my fiance, me, any children we might have, I want this to support the family and move us in the right direction, and make a good income for myself and feel good about doing it and be a part of something that I just love and adore so much, which is Pokemon cards. I'm literally obsessed with it. I want to be a part of it. I want to be a good part of it. And if you want to stick around and watch me, you know, grow into something significant, then subscribe to the channel. And you know, this is kind of how I'm running my business these days, guys. I do appreciate you if you did tag along for this video. Just let me know what you think, what your business plans are in the comments. Let's talk business. Let's talk sweaty market talk on Pokemon. And if that's all I got, guys. I'll be back with a new one soon. Maybe some tips and tricks on running a booth or an eBay store or something along those lines, because I seem to be doing pretty good at it right now. So I can probably give you guys some tips that would help more of a new person get started. But that's about all I got for now, guys. I'll be back with a new one soon. Peace.